Jey Uso betrays Jimmy Uso. Ricochet claims WWE didn't try hard enough to keep him. Why Shayna Baszler returned to WWE. Triple H breaks silence after private photo leak with Stephanie McMahon. Karrion Kross shares a rare personal update. Dominik Mysterio kicked out of the Judgment Day. Roman Reigns is responsible for Becky Lynch joining Seth Rollins' stable. Paul Heyman addresses his status for Wrestlepalooza. Uncle Howdy turns heel and brings back the Fiend gimmick. Let's dive right in. Ricochet claims WWE didn't try hard enough to keep him. Ricochet left WWE in July 2024 when his contract ran out. He's now shining in AEW, but he feels WWE didn't push hard to keep him around. On the Ariel Helwani show, Ricochet was asked if WWE tried to hold on to him before he walked away. He said from his view, they barely made an effort. An offer came, but they couldn't agree on terms, so he chose to leave. Ricochet felt WWE never showed they truly valued him staying. While he noted that a heart-to-heart might not have changed his mind, he got the sense they didn't fight for him. He acknowledged others might see it differently, but that's how it went down for him. I mean, for me, they didn't try. I think they made an offer. We couldn't agree. Okay, I'm out. For me, at least, they didn't really let me know they wanted me to stay, which, who knows if that would have changed my mind anyway. But from my experience, they might feel different, but I didn't feel they really sat me down and said, we really want you to stay. Everyone has different experiences, and that's how I felt. Ricochet thinks Triple H kept the door cracked for a WWE comeback, but he's got no interest in going back. Things have clearly panned out, with Ricochet killing it in AEW, and that's what counts most. Should WWE have fought harder for Ricochet? Would a personal push from Triple H or the top brass have swayed him to stay? Why Shayna Baszler returned to WWE? Shayna Baszler built a fierce reputation as one of wrestling's toughest women. In 2019, she ruled the NXT Women's Championship for over 400 days, putting her name up there with the division's elite. After moving to the main roster, she crushed opponents left and right, but her push faded fast. In May 2025, WWE let her go. This week, Baszler shocked everyone with a surprise return at NXT Homecoming. She popped up in a backstage chat with Sol Ruca and Zarya, reminding them of her huge role in the division and her NXT triumphs. Baszler's back in WWE, but her reasons stay unclear. Baszler's NXT Homecoming spot might just be a quick nod to her past and what she achieved. She's one of the most commanding figures in the division's history, always wowing fans with her skills, win or lose. This could be a one-off for the Homecoming vibe, showing she's still tight with WWE and open to coming back whenever they call. Talk has swirled about Baszler stepping into a producer role. As a former NXT Women's Champion, she's been a key player before, and after her release as a wrestler, she might shift to backstage work. Even if her recent in-ring time fell flat, a behind-the-scenes gig keeps her connected and set for a ring comeback if the story calls for it. Baszler's last few years as a wrestler didn't go as planned, but from the start, she dominated the women's division. She made waves by wiping out most of the field in the Elimination Chamber match years back. With her long list of wins and standout moments, Baszler could be gearing up for one final run before hanging up her boots and moving to a backstage spot. We'll see what WWE plans for her next. Triple H breaks silence after private photo leak with Stephanie McMahon. No one in wrestling wants their personal life exposed, especially when they're off the WWE road. Triple H has spoken out after private pictures of him with Stephanie McMahon and their family surfaced online. A few weeks back, the Game and his wife were caught on vacation with their 3 daughters in Mykonos, Greece. In a rare moment, the family was photographed relaxing on a rented yacht off the island. But Triple H drew nasty body-shaming comments from online trolls who seemed to forget his close call with death from heart problems in 2021. Fightful Select reports that many in WWE felt angry and upset over the privacy invasion. On the Pat McAfee show, Triple H explained wearing the same old swim trunks from years ago. So, your kids give it to you, and it is an important thing for them, so I only wear it on special occasions for them, right? It's a bathing suit that they gave me when they were very little. I don't think they probably remember giving it to me, but it is something that they talk about on a regular basis, so I have it. So I brought it on vacation. Now, we're like a mile out. That guy shooting that picture had a cannon, dude, right? Triple H said. After all the talk, Triple H confirmed WrestleMania 43 heads to Saudi Arabia in 2027. The choice to take the Showcase of the Immortals outside North America has split the WWE universe. On Behind the Turnbuckle Studios, former WWE commentator Jonathan Coachman said the company could earn $400 to $500 million by running more events in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Yes, I do. Why did they go back to Las Vegas this year for 2 WrestleManias in a row? What's the reason? Money. How much do you think the company makes or generates for Las Vegas to get the deal they have to go back? $400 to $500 million at least. Easily that much. We're talking about hundreds and thousands of people coming to one city. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer recently reported that Saudi Arabia is already pushing for several WWE legends to come out of retirement. Karrion Kross shares a rare personal update. Karrion Kross posted a heartfelt update on social media about his family. The former WWE star shared big news about his mother's health. Kross and his wife, Scarlett, left WWE last month after their contracts ran out. His final WWE match was at SummerSlam, falling to Sami Zayn one-on-one. On Instagram, Karrion Kross shared a photo with his mom, revealing in the caption that she finished her last chemotherapy treatment. The 40-year-old said it's been a tough year for their family, but his mother faced it with fearless strength. I didn't want to mention anything about this until we got through to the other side, but my mother has completed her last treatment of chemotherapy in her recovery. This has been a very challenging year for our family, but like usual, our mother leads as setting the standard on proceeding through life without fear, with courage and demonstrating strength through perseverance, Kross wrote. Kross noted that only a few close people knew about his mom's illness, and he thanked them for their prayers and support. He then gave some background on the photo he posted. Very few people were in the know, but for those of you that were, thank you for all your support and your prayers. This photo is pretty crazy. When I was little, she took me to see Beetlejuice in theaters. Decades later, we all went out as a family to see the live play just recently. This is the first time we've been able to see a performance together since 2019, Kross added. On August 23rd, former WWE star Shotzi Blackheart faced ex-WWE United States champion Matt Cardona, once Zack Ryder, for the Garage Beer World title at GCW Homecoming Weekend. Karrion Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux crashed the match, attacking Cardona to help Blackheart win the vacant belt. Shotzi and Scarlett are close friends off-screen too. Karrion Kross and Scarlett are lined up for a big appearance this Sunday at WrestlePro's Killer Smoke Show event at the Rahway Rec Center. Kross will take on former MLW World Tag Team Champion Richard Holliday in a no disqualification match. Dominik Mysterio kicked out of the Judgment Day. Dominik Mysterio has been clashing with Finn Balor for weeks now. His secret tie with El Grande Americano has stirred up trouble inside the Judgment Day. Things got worse because Mysterio kept it hidden. His recent moves have fans guessing he might get tossed from his own group soon. Rusev could step in to replace Dirty Dom in the Judgment Day. The talk started after what went down this week on Raw. The Bulgarian Brute cornered Dominik Mysterio in his locker room and made it plain he was gunning for the Intercontinental Championship. The 39-year-old has locked onto the prized belt and looks like Mysterio's next foe. WWE rarely runs villain against villain fights for titles unless a larger plot is brewing. Fans could see a backstab play out during Dirty Dom's possible title defense against Rusev. Finn Balor might sabotage his teammate by helping the Redeemer beat Dominik. The Prince has grown fed up with Mysterio's attitude shift, so he could ditch the 28-year-old and boot him from the Judgment Day. Balor might bring in Rusev as the fresh face after he possibly takes the Intercontinental Championship from Dominik Mysterio. But this whole idea is just a guess. We'll have to wait and see when WWE starts the Rusev and Mysterio beef on Raw. Dominik Mysterio has thrived as a villain for 3 years in WWE. In that time, he's hit big successes and become a key player. But lately, he's at odds with his Judgment Day crew. This has sparked talk that Mysterio might split from the group and go good guy. Still, the odds of that now are slim. The 28-year-old shines as a heel, and flipping him would feel pointless. Plus, it could undo years of building his bad guy role. On top of that, Dominik Mysterio has tons of villain feuds left to run. So it doesn't seem like WWE plans a switch for him anytime soon, but Dirty Dom will likely stay a heel for the long haul. As that plays out, the company aims to lock him in as one of the top bad guys on the roster. Roman Reigns is responsible for Becky Lynch joining Seth Rollins' stable. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch have been a powerhouse duo since Lynch helped Rollins keep the WWE World Heavyweight title at Clash in Paris. They're deep in a major storyline, and now Rollins has shared how long their on-screen partnership was in the works. On ESPN's First Take, Seth Rollins said teaming with Becky Lynch on TV came naturally since they've always been a tight unit off-screen. He called the timing perfect, describing Becky as family and saying they always support each other. While it wasn't planned years ahead, they'd been talking about joining forces for months before the Clash in Paris event. Oh well, I mean, look, we are a force behind the scenes at all times, two of the greatest to ever do it in our respective divisions. You know, the time had come. It made the most sense. And look, she's family. She's got my back. I got her back. I don't know if we've been working it up for a long time, but the conversations have been in place for many months leading up to the moment. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch face AJ Lee and CM Punk at WWE Wrestlepalooza on September 20th, and it's anyone's guess which team will walk away victorious. What do you think of seeing Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch team up on WWE TV? Who's your pick to win at Wrestlepalooza? Roman Reigns seems to be why Becky Lynch joined Seth Rollins' group, The Vision, on Raw. Paul Heyman explained that Reigns' actions at Clash in Paris pushed him to bring Lynch in. At WWE Clash in Paris 2025, Seth Rollins kept the World Heavyweight title in a fatal four-way match after Lynch jumped in and attacked CM Punk. That moment sparked their alliance after 6 years apart. On ESPN's First Take, WWE Hall of Famer Paul Heyman revealed how Becky Lynch landed in The Vision. He called it Plan B after Roman Reigns attacked him. For those who missed it, Reigns went after Heyman earlier that night following his match with Bronson Reed. Alright, everything to do with it. I'll reveal it to you right now. It came together because of me. Would you like to know why? Because Roman Reigns choked my A out. That's why. Heyman stated. We had to go to Plan B, which was Plan Becky. You can't leave the champ out there all by himself. Stephen A. Smith also asked Seth Rollins about working on screen with his real-life wife, Becky Lynch. Here's what he said. Oh, I mean, look, we are a force behind the scenes at all times. Two of the greatest to ever do it in our respective divisions. You know, the time had come. Time had come. It made the most sense. And look, she's family. She's got my back, I got her back. I don't know if we've been working it up for a long time, but the conversations have been in place for many months leading to the moment. Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins now head into a massive mixed tag team match against AJ Lee and CM Punk at WWE Wrestlepalooza. Paul Heyman addresses his status for Wrestlepalooza. Paul Heyman hasn't shown up on WWE TV since Roman Reigns choked him out at Clash in Paris. With Wrestlepalooza right around the corner, Heyman spoke about the chance of coming back for the event. On ESPN's First Take, Paul Heyman talked about possibly appearing at Wrestlepalooza and standing by Seth Rollins ringside after his time off since Clash in Paris. He described how Roman Reigns squeezed so tight that blood vessels burst in his eye, and he's not sure if the harm will last forever. Roman Reigns choked me out so hard. If you take a look right here, I busted all these blood vessels in my eye. I don't know if it's permanent damage or not. When Stephen A. Smith asked if he'd feel safe at ringside Saturday night for Rollins, Heyman left everyone hanging. He said he's always sure of himself next to Seth Rollins, but showing up depends on the plan for the night. Hell of a cliffhanger. I'm always comfortable ringside with Seth freaking Rollins. Maybe the strategy calls for me to be elsewhere at that moment. Maybe the strategy calls for me to be ringside at the moment. Seth Rollins teams with Becky Lynch to battle CM Punk and AJ Lee in a mixed tag team match at WWE Wrestlepalooza. So, it's unclear if Paul Heyman will return during the event too. Do you think Paul Heyman will show up at WWE Wrestlepalooza this week? Uncle Howdy turns heel and brings back the Fiend gimmick. The Fiend stood out as Bray Wyatt's most loved character in WWE. He used it to draw huge excitement from crowds. Now, with Wyatt 6 back and Uncle Howdy leading the way, many hope to see the Fiend return, but through Howdy. On a July 2025 SmackDown, Howdy wrestled in a match. Sharp-eyed watchers noticed the Wyatt 6 leader wore something close to the Fiend's look. This hint opened the door for the Fiend to come back as Uncle Howdy's fresh face. One way WWE could do this is tying it to John Cena's retirement run. The Cenation leader has little time left in his last days in the ring. Talking to Adam Barnard on the Sportster's YouTube channel, Bo Dallas touched on a possible clash with the Cenation leader and left room for it. He also said Wyatt 6 has big plans coming up soon. I think, never say never, and there's always a possibility. I'd say, just keep watching. There's a lot of big stuff that the Wyatt 6 is going to be getting done really soon, he said. This setup feels right for Uncle Howdy to turn villain and fully revive the Fiend gimmick. Then, he could jump the last real champion and push the legend out of wrestling for good. If the masked figure retires Cena during this farewell tour, it would lift Howdy's solo status sky high. We'll have to wait to see what WWE cooks up for Bo Dallas and Wyatt 6, and if they cross paths with John Cena before his run ends. John Cena and Bray Wyatt shared a strong history in WWE. The two stars fought twice at WrestleMania 30 and 36. At the 2014 Showcase of the Immortals, Cena beat Wyatt to take the win. But at WrestleMania 36, they battled in a Firefly Funhouse match, where Bray came out on top. With this deep backstory, Uncle Howdy facing the franchise player fits perfectly. Jey Uso betrays Jimmy Uso. Several top WWE stars gear up for the first ever Wrestlepalooza PLE in Indianapolis this weekend. Brock Lesnar zeroed in on John Cena upon his return at SummerSlam. The longtime enemies will headline the show. CM Punk and AJ Lee take on Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. Officials aim to keep viewers hooked after the debut event. One way to do that is Roman Reigns coming back from his break. The next 4 clues point to the Tribal Chief showing up at Wrestlepalooza. WWE has shaken things up since teaming with UFC under TKO. It pushes wrestling as a real sport alongside others. ESPN has ruled sports coverage for years, from showing MLB, NBA, NFL, NHL, and more. Landing there boosts a sport's reach and respect. Wrestlepalooza launches WWE on its fresh streaming home. It could soar or stumble, as fans rush to check if they can still catch their favorite PLEs. Even after grabbing the undisputed WWE Championship from John Cena at SummerSlam, Cody Rhodes vanished for about a month. He came back on last week's SmackDown to line up a bout with Drew McIntyre at Wrestlepalooza. The American Nightmare matters more on TV as a full-time player and key champ. Reigns steps away often during the year. With Cody gone just a month for movie work, the Tribal Chief might pop back quicker. The road to War Games starts soon, and Bloodline players could jump in once more. Reigns' comeback at Wrestlepalooza might kick it off. Jey Uso ranks as one of WWE's hottest stars, but he's edged toward villain lately. Jimmy even called it out, saying Jey sounds like Roman more than the down-to-earth champ who took the World Heavyweight title. As Jimmy got tugged between his brother and LA Knight on Raw, the Yeet Master chatted on the phone with someone. Jimmy asked who it was, but Jey stayed quiet quiet. The caller could be Roman Reigns. Jey listens more to Roman these days, so it might tie to his return this weekend. The Wrestlepalooza lineup might serve a clear goal. Every member of the Vision, except Paul Heyman, wrestles there. Rollins pairs with Lynch, while Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed keep battling Jey Uso. With Jimmy in the mix too, it gathers all the head of the table might value in one spot. His top 2 supporters and the 3 guys who took him down last time will share the building, showing up during or after any of their matches fits, as Reigns connects to all 5. The Usos prepare to reunite for a WWE tag match after ages at the upcoming Wrestlepalooza Premium Live event this weekend. The Bloodline duo faces the Vision's Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. The Villain Squad has chased Roman Reigns and Jey Uso for ages. The famous tag team links up again to school the young guns. With all the wild elements in the fight, expect total disorder at the PLE. Viewers guessed the big result for this hot matchup. Main event, Jey Uso has soared as a solo act. He claimed the Royal Rumble 2025 and World Heavyweight Championship and stayed in the main event mix. For weeks, Jey Uso has flashed heel signs, like spearing LA Knight even though the megastar backed them. Plus, the brothers clash over Jimmy ignoring Jey's commands. Each week, the twins bond phrase more. Things might explode at WWE Wrestlepalooza with Jey Uso flipping heel on his own brother.